All right, everybody, welcome to another episode where we are going to be doing more question and response. And again, for those of you who have had an opportunity or you understand who we are and what we do and how we work, you know that on Tuesdays, our members get the opportunity to participate in our question and response session. In this particular session, we go over a number of listings. And yes, unfortunately, we still had some tech issues, but hopefully you can forgive us because we still think, even with the echoes and audio and all the challenges, that you'll still be able to learn a few things. And because we know that inside the content there's something valuable for you, we still think that we should absolutely share it. So at the end of the day, we went over, like I said, a number of listings, and because we went over those listings, there's a lot of detail. So you might want to grab a notepad and pen, or get some way to hit that pause button, because we're going to go through some very fine points about what makes the listings great. And you definitely want to stick around towards the end, because as we get towards the end, or what tends to happen is that we have a lot of the rapid fire questions from those that are in the community who have questions related to how they're going to go out there and actually make their listing happen. Now, with that being said, some of you probably want to know how to join us in the community. Feel free to go to Facebook. You can go to cashflowdiary.com/mastery. Again, as you see, it's cashflowdiary.com/mastery. And come join us, ask some questions, because we would love to absolutely have you.
Obviously, there's a couple of ways that we can implement this. First and foremost, you don't ever want to have to resort to something like this. And so one way to not have to resort to it is to make sure that in your check-in instructions or your confirmation email that you remind your guests of a few things. You can post this in your house rules as a reminder. You could also post it in one of those email messages as a reminder. And you might do that as a copy and paste, or you can simply create a link specifically to the terms and conditions 8.2.2. So that's what I got. I was super excited about it. I called Jay right away. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're never going to believe this. You got to hear this. What do you think about that, Jay?
I think it's great, and more importantly, I know it's going to help all of us earn, well, more money. Why? Simply because we have all been in situations in which we've had to deal with people not leaving when they said they were going to leave. So that's a whole nother story for another time and another day. Now, some of you, especially those of you in our mastery group, you may have experienced a small little disconnect. I believe I have fixed it. So if you are in the mastery group, you should be able to see us now, which is great. Sorry about that. And I think I have all three groups going, so this
Awesome.
should be good. We have a live person. So John, you're here comes an experiment. We've never done him and I at the same time with a live person. So we're gonna go for it and see what happens. Let's see how this. Oh, this is gonna be interesting right now.
This is like how the real news networks do it.
Yeah, totally right. Go ahead, John. I can't hear a word he's saying. Hold on. Let me unmute you. Go.
Hey, Jay.
Yes.
You got me. Okay. So I've got two questions for you, and I've got some. You got feedback?
Oh, okay. Hold on. Go. And I can mute.
Okay. So I got two questions for you, and I have one feedback for you. So the first question is, and you're probably going to tell me I just don't do this, so I don't know. But currently, the two marketing channels we are on are Airbnb and HomeAway. Okay. Uh, Airbnb is cool, and I can push my pricing to Airbnb. The problem I have currently is I have no way in our current system to push pricing to HomeAway. So to fix that put a band-aid on that part in our system. Basically, what I'm doing now is I'm hiring somebody to go to PriceAway or HomeAway
Okay, that was strange. He just disappeared.
It disappeared. We don't know who that was on. Whether it was on our side.
Okay,
or his
but
side.
I
we did say it was an experiment.
right. That was strange. He just like cut off. All right, so here's where we are. If you're on Price Labs what did you say? Airbnb and HomeAway. And yeah, I get the idea that you're having trouble moving the pricing over. And if you're moving the pricing over, and Phil and John, if you want, feel free to come back. If you're moving the pricing over, it has to be done manually because it's like, how are you going to adjust it on a daily basis? That's part of the challenge. Okay, so while you may have messaging integrated, you can compensate for this in a number of different ways. Maybe you don't. What you do is you just focus on maybe those compression days where you see something inside of what's it called? Price Labs go high for a small moment. When you see that happen, what you simply do is you adjust for those days and you just leave your HomeAway pricing to be a little bit higher than normal. That's pretty much how I would handle it at the end of the day. Okay, so I don't know. Was that experiment a fail or what?
It was halfway. We got the question out.
Oh, we're trying, guys. We are so trying over here. Okay. With that said, let's see. Let's go.
While Jay's checking out what he's going to go to next, I first want to say for all you baseball fans, go Sox. All right?
Seriously.
Big night tonight.
Did you seriously say that?
Oh, I said it. I seriously said that. Jay's a big sports fan, if you can tell. I'm from the East Coast, originally New England, so I was born and raised a Red Sox fan. Yes, I lived in LA a long time, but they're just going to break your heart, guys. So come on over. Green Monster, baby.
Wow.
Let's do this.
Okay. So let's can we just? I just want to make sure that that you guys can indeed, because I don't have their comments anymore. I don't know if you do. I have like literally none of them.
I have some from the mastermind group.
Okay, perfect. So long as there's some comments going on, we're doing our best. I just want to make sure someone said go Sox.
Yes, Mike.
Come on.
I knew it.
They're
out there. We're everywhere.
There had to be
at
at least
what
one.
ballpark you go to.
It's
Half
all
of it's
good.
going to be Red Sox fans.
Seriously?
I love it.
Seriously? Why are we talking about baseball? Anyway.
But, Jay, I think
Let's
one
go.
thing that we wanted to talk about was some developments in San Diego on legislation around short-term rentals.
Perfect. Yes.
So
let me pull that up on my phone.
Yep. One of our group members pointed something out to us, and so we want to talk about what's going on in San Diego, but on a greater level, there's a lesson to be learned for any jurisdiction. So Jay's pulling that up on his phone right now.
Yeah, where did it go, though? Because I just saw it. Nope, that's not it. Who was it? What was his name? Oh, it was yesterday. That was the problem. Let me see if I can find it by what was the name? His name. It's not Joe. Haley. Good Lord. If you find it, that's also fine too.
I just want to say hi to everybody while you look.
Yeah, do that.
So Deal, Steve, James, welcome. Glad to have you here. Award goes to Janan and Sarah for being first on today. We don't really actually have anything to give you guys, but it's good to know that you're that plugged in and you're waiting for us every week. Great to have you. We do see some questions here. Well, Janan, Latoya, you've got a couple questions. We will definitely be getting to those. A couple things we wanted to go over was legislation.
Found it.
And how that affects the STR business. And we also have a few of the reviews that we didn't get to last week, and as well as a couple more reviews that were posted into that initial string. If we have time, we'll get to those as well.
Excellent. So here is the article, or what was posted inside the group. We're from John McPherson. You guys should be able to see this. I just realized that that's off. There we go. It says, finally, some good news for once. We've just won one battle, not the war. What we really need now are examples and precedents set in other cities of workable and fair short-term rental policies. We need to identify other good cities with reasonable regs and show the San Diego City Council how to do it right. Any suggestions? Okay. I've said this before, and I'm going to say it many more times until we all understand and just move forward. Yes, there's going to be this period of figuring it out, but while they're figuring it out, you and we, the entrepreneurs, need to be comfortable knowing that they're going to figure it out. We don't know what it looks like, but at the end of the day, we need to be moving forward, because this entire time there have been people in San Diego who have been sitting on the sidelines waiting for, I don't know, somebody's blessing or approval. And now that they're in this situation, they're like, okay, cool. What they said they were going to do, they're actually not going to do, and they're going to push it out a whole nother, was it year and a half, 18 months or something?
Yeah, I think from what I read, I don't remember if it was this article, but I did read an article about a week and a half ago that said it most likely would push any kind of vote on any type of legislation to 2020.
Yeah. And so now that all the time that you've been waiting for them to figure stuff out is time that you haven't been establishing your footprint, building your brand, making the right things happen. And now you just found out, hey, there's going to be even more time before it's done. I'm telling you, this type of business, what we do, they want to figure it out. And it's to your advantage to be one of the first in. That is by definition what an entrepreneur is. We're the first in. Why? Because we're the ones willing to take the risk to make the right things happen and serve people in the right way. There are a number of cities that have put in some quote unquote common sense legislation. And as I have said before, I say again, Fullerton in Orange County is definitely one of same said cities. And there are many different examples out there. There aren't a lack of examples. There's a severe lack of understanding at the end of the day. But here's the fun part. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you know, okay? So you get the privilege, regardless of which Facebook group you're in, or if you're watching us later on YouTube, you get the privilege to do something about it. And that's what gets exciting for me and for you and for Rob at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I'd add to that, even the cities that do try to enact legislation, a lot of those cities are then backtracking 6 months, 9 months, 12 months later. You kind of saw this in Anaheim. I think short-term rentals will definitely come back to Anaheim.
Yep.
Because the city is starting to become at odds with Disney. Disney basically runs the hotel industry in Anaheim, and they're the ones that put pressure on the city to pass legislation to outlaw STRs, and that's starting to backfire in their face.
Yep, 100%. So do you want to get into some of the listing reviews?
Yeah, absolutely. So listing reviews. The first one we want to look at today is in Salt Lake City by Lauren, which we know is not really Lauren. So the first thing I wanted to do on
Hi, Lauren. I mean, Ladero.
Before we actually start going into the mechanics of the images, the build out, and the listing itself, I actually wanted Jay to address who Lauren is and why it's not really Lauren, and why that person would put a headshot of someone that is maybe not necessarily them.
Yeah, totally. So what it comes down to, and again, some of you may not like what I'm about to say, but it's not about what you like or don't like. It's honestly, at the end of the day, I want to make sure that you put more dollars in your pocket. That's really what it comes down to. Having cash flow diaries been around for a little while, and we've done lots of things called split testing. It's where you take two items that are identical except one thing, and you just figure out, hey, does it convert higher if we show picture A, or convert higher if we show picture B? And many of us out there, we welcome all. That's what we do. We welcome all. We want to serve all. However, there are some of our customers who have a preference of the type of person that they make lots of assumptions about who the host might be simply based upon a photograph. And whether we like it or not, at the end of the day, what has happened and what I have seen myself personally is that when I use my own face, my own images, let's just say that the reservations, either in dollar amount or conversion rates, they're not as high as I wish they would be. And what I learned to do is to adapt to the marketplace, to remove any sort of bias that might exist. Now, you may not like what I'm saying, you may not agree with what I'm saying, but at the end of the day, what it comes down to is two things. One, I wanted to make sure that what is available for myself and my family isn't affected because we are still delivering a service. Two, many of you are running multiple locations anyway, and you're likely never going to run into the guest. So some of you are using things like your company logo, which is fine. And others of you, maybe you're using representative samples of who might be in your customer service department, or an assistant, as you see in this particular case. It doesn't matter to me. What does matter is that you understand that that's there, and it's really good to be transparent about it. And inside of our communication, everybody always knows, all of our guests knows that they're talking to multiple different people. That takes the time. That means they actually read it. But anyway, they know they're talking to multiple different people. But at the end of the day, it's a business decision that helps you convert more.
Yep. Perfectly said. Thank you. Okay, so this is going to be one of those listings, guys, where we point out a lot of good things. And we don't normally like to go into the listing during a live review and look at it first, but I cheated a little bit. I did.
He sure did.
And I said, this is a ridiculously awesome listing. I want it, actually. I'll take 5. So we're going to go through this and point out some really good things, a couple things that I personally would correct, and honestly, again, it's really nitpicking. But we'll jump into the photos first before we actually go into the content of the listing itself.
Wait, go back, because I didn't know. Yeah, I need you to go back to that first page because I wanted to make sure. Everybody needs to be aware. There's been a change in how your listings are displayed, specifically your photos. It used to be the feature photo was the only thing people saw when they got to your listing. Now, on a mobile device, you would still only see the feature photo. So you would only see this big one on the left, okay? You would only see this big one on the left. You would only see this big one on the left, but now on desktop, you're seeing the first 5 photos. So you want to be aware of what you have in your first 5 photos, not just your first photo. So while yes, we want you to show them that they have the appropriate internet speed. 1, crop it properly, please. 2, you don't want it right there. You would rather utilize that space for something that's more representative of the actual space in and of itself, because it just looks really tacky. Is that the right word?
Yeah, it just doesn't fit.
Yeah, it's not right. So just know that that's the case, and you might want to make some adjustments.
Yep.
But now we can go into the rest of them.
Perfect.
Because I didn't cheat. He did. So I don't know what I'm going to see.
Cheated,
okay. Oh, go ahead.
My first thing I'm going to say is, wow, I love this photo. I love the textures. I love the brickwork. I love the colors. The first thing that jumps out to me about this picture is that this is a professional short-term rental. Obviously, a designer was involved. I'm going to guess there was a professional photographer involved. I love how the colors work together.
Yeah, okay, so because I can tell that you've put in a significant amount of effort to get everything right, I'm going to go pick apart the stuff that really doesn't matter, but I still see, okay? So, yep, that's exactly right. So the very first thing, I want you guys to look in the corner near the couch. That curtain is out of place. It is, so we'll call that just improper staging. We have an issue right there. Additionally, if you're going to have the curtains opened, have the entire window shown, because you don't have the same amount of window being shown between the 2 curtains. And thirdly, and this is so nitpicky, this picture is oversaturated. In terms of I don't know if it was shot using an HDR technique or if this was done in post-production. Either way it goes, it's almost, not quite, almost cartoonish to the gray, almost like a crayon, but it's a great photo. I mean, there's no guest who's going to be like, "Ooh, I can't stay here" because of that. At the end of the day, I'm just saying, in general, I have to find something, and well, that's only all I can find.
Yeah, like I said, nitpicking, guys. Ladero and company, I'd love to know where you got some of the stuff. Like, those lamps are off the hook. I love them.
That could be a I don't know. I don't know. Let's keep going.
Let's keep going. Let's see. So it looks like we have a bar with 3, and then a table.
Okay, there's a table?
Oh, that's part of the table.
There's
Okay.
a bar right there, and then there's a stand-up table underneath the television. Probably, it looks like it's also acting as a media center or console, and you got a little internet modem down there. I'm assuming it's also additional space to eat, maybe?
That's what I was thinking.
I can't imagine that it's a workspace. It's too close to the television and the table doesn't seem like it's wide enough.
Yeah. I'm not sure, but maybe if you sit in front of the television instead of on the side, you might be able to use it as a workspace.
Yeah.
The only thing in this one is, I've said this before, when you're going to go the route, because you clearly have spent the money for proper lighting and the right photos, because that's really clear. Notice, everybody, these photos are daylight balanced. It's perfect. You might as well go ahead and superimpose on the television an image, because that reflection is not helping you at all. That's inside the TV, but that's probably the only thing I can see that's not right here.
Yep. One thing you could do is you can actually put a channel on the television, pause that channel, and shut the blinds in the background. It's one of the reasons why you have the reflection. You can see the window in the background.
Yeah.
Jay mentioned this already. Two things. One is I'm not sure I would put the internet speed photo so early in on the photos, because now they're just going to stop and try to figure out what this is, and you want to kind of keep the momentum of them going through the photos and working through the photos. Secondly, yes, it's not properly cropped, and because it's not properly cropped, I'm like, okay, is it 95 megabits per second? Is it 195 megabits per second? Is it more, less? I don't know. But yeah, I would actually push this down a little bit further in the photos. Nice picture of the kitchen. What do you think, Jay?
My initial thought is this the same story? I'm not really sure if I'm getting any new information here or if I really care about it. I don't like the fact the angle. I think that's probably what's bugging me the most. Because you don't have a galley kitchen and this is it's got the island, I would have rather have seen you been behind the island and shoot that straight on.
Yeah.
That's really what I'm looking at.
On the positive side, I actually love the different colors that you have in there, right? The coffee maker is standing out.
Well, let's talk about that brick though. The brick is everywhere and it's just awesome. It makes everything look. It makes everything look awesome.
Live there.
Right, that brick is pretty good.
Yeah,
but it's Utah, it's still cold. Keep that in mind.
That's okay. That's what jackets for. Anyways, moving on. You guys have coffee. I can see the maker. I can see the coffee. That's a big plus. For those of you who may be new to the business, I have tons of reviews of people that mention the coffee and tons more messages direct to me that say thank you so much for having quality coffee. We love the Keurig. There's lots of different ways. If you want to do drip, you can. That's a whole other headache. I prefer the Keurig. But there's even higher end models that do espresso and espresso drinks. So definitely consider that if you're when you're putting up new units. Moving on?
Yeah.
All right, tackle this one, Jay.
Not my first choice for an accent wall, but it works.
Why not?
Just the color. It's mustard yellow. That's all. It's just the color.
Okay,
it's just.
I want to remind you guys.
But what's with that? Okay, go ahead.
As we make comments, some of these things are personal preference, so please do not get offended. That being said, kind of reminds me of baby poop.
Yeah. Okay.
When they're still on formula.
Yeah.
You had a baby. You got to change that diaper.
Yeah.
A little bit like that.
Yeah. Now that green throw is going to get thrashed. I submit within 90 days. It is. If it's still green, it's not green because of its original color.
So, I don't know what that actually means.
Yeah, but it's not good. It means it's not good. It's probably going to be dark green or brown.
Once again, though, lamps are awesome. I love the artwork above the headboard there as well.
And again, notice how he's got the right kind of the shades are open. It's perfect. I mean, and now hold on. This is actually good photographic technique. I want to highlight this because nobody. You got to understand. It's well lit inside, and when you look out the window, it's also properly exposed. That means you have a great photographer who knows what they are doing. This is not an easy shot by any stretch of the imagination, but it's done perfectly. Furthermore, look at the angle from which it is shot. You should see, but do not see in the mirror, the photographer. These are all little hints that it was done very, very well. This is the type of work that I would pay. I pay money for this. This is work, and it's good stuff.
Now, in addition to the composition of the photo, I want to talk about the composition of the room. based on the angle and the fact that the mirror where
Still
it
the
is,
wrong angle.
Well, no, to me it tells me that the room isn't huge. However, this photo makes it look like it's appropriate size. One. Two, if because you have a large mirror in there, it's also going to make the room feel like it's larger than it is. And apart from the room size, I will tell you a large mirror hanging on the wall, whether it's suspending from the wall or on the floor, aka a wardrobe mirror, is a big oversight that most operators completely forget about. But it's really, really important. I found that out after we went live with 2 apartments ourselves, and that was one of the first bits of feedback we received from our female guests is, where's the wardrobe mirror? I need something tall. I gotta look at myself while I'm getting ready. So good job on that. Other positive that I noticed it in the other pictures, and I noticed it in here too, is that all the cords are tied up as much as they can and out of the way. They're not hanging on the ground waiting for somebody to trip on, and it makes it look clean.
Yep, absolutely, 100%. The I still don't. I'm still not a fan of the color of the wall. What is that?
This is the other side of the bedroom.
Okay, go back. So you're actually now going to prove my point. So when I said this was at the wrong angle, I like bedroom shot at a more dramatic lower angle, and this person it had it too high. And this is also reflected in the next photo. Go to the next photo. Again, also this person is either standing or the tripod is just too high. If it was lower, both of those shots would be better. It's a fine shot, but what would make it better is if it was lower.
Moving on.
Yep. Don't do that.
Okay, first bathroom shot. Couple things. One is it's a vertical shot. Don't do that. Second is, I don't know if it's a saturation issue or what. It's not in focus. If you look at the top of the ceiling.
Oh, this is a cell phone photo.
Oh, don't do that, guys. Don't do cell phone
This
photos.
looks like a cell phone photo. Man.
I'm guessing that maybe the photographer just forgot.
Somebody forgot that, yeah, and somebody tried to go back.
Moving on.
This looks like a total cell phone photo.
I don't know exactly what I'm looking at. I'm going to actually jump ahead one slot shot for a second and then come right back. Okay, so we only have one picture of the bathroom. So there's a few things that I want to point out about the bathroom that I may have done differently. One is I definitely would have the shower curtain open. Show people what they're getting. And make sure that when it's open, and I don't know this, and because I don't know this, I'm going to assume it's not there, that you have a high-quality shower head, maybe a dual shower head as well. The flooring, I don't know if that's a rug or what that is on the floor, but I think it's just the floor. Maybe it's linoleum. I don't know. Maybe that's fine. But if there is a rug there, if it's around the toilet, get rid of it. Because it's just going to end up smelling like pee eventually. And you're never going to get it clean, and it's going to be bad. Towel rack. Even though you have the towels rolled up and in that little shelf there, which is a great touch, I love it, I would still have towels hanging from that bar. And then finally, I would also consider toiletries. Please, guys, get toiletries and show them in your bathroom photos so that people know that when they fly into town, they don't have to make a stop at the grocery store or CVS or whatever the local drugstore is to get toiletries because you've already taken care of that for them. They're just starter set. And if they're there for more than 3 days, they will need to go out and buy them. But at least they know when they look at the pictures, they're not going to have to stop. They can fly in and go straight to the apartment.
Okay, so everybody knows, yes, we got the messages. We know that there's an echo. We are trying. There is no audio engineer in here. It is me.
Definitely not me.
We're doing the best that we can at this particular moment. Let's go to the next photo. That's, again, oversaturated, but I like the idea that you're showing it in a different use case with the thing extended. What is that? Yeah, it's the same shot.
What I like about this photo is that they staged it.
Yeah.
Right? They
cool.
actually are showing, they not only, well, I'm going to guess that it's stated in their listing, and we'll look at that in a moment, that there is a sleeper sofa, but now they're actually showing us a sleeper sofa. I will tell you from my own mistakes that I have not staged a sleeper sofa in 13 listings now, and I need to change that because I continually get questions about, hey, your listing says there's a sleeper sofa. Your listing says there's twin rollaway beds, but we don't actually see them. Do they really exist? Yes. You're going to get that question over and over and over again. So stage it.
Okay, let's go to the next one.
Don't know what that is. It's pretty.
Yeah,
But it doesn't tell me anything about, well, I guess the listing there says near Trolley Square, University of Utah. The one thing I might consider with this picture is in the tag there, actually say what Trolley Square is or what they could find there. If it's a historic place, if there's museums there or art galleries or restaurants and bars and cafes, list that. So near Trolley Square and University of Utah, period, restaurants, comma, bars, comma, cafes, period. And or how far away is that from the listing? All right, we got a little patio here.
Why is that there?
As opposed to?
I mean, okay, I guess. I mean, where
would you put it?
I don't know. It's fine. It's just all right. Sounds good.
No.
I just don't like. I'm like. It just seemed. It struck me as out of place.
Guessing his question.
No.
I wanted to explain to everyone.
I'm just like,
What's
yeah,
the thought process?
I don't even think you need this photo. Like, what is it at? I mean, you got a view of the neighbor's junking yard. Awesome.
Yeah, so I would actually I would use a patio photo, but I might take it from a different angle.
Yeah, I'm like,
I might take it from the sidewalk pointing at the house.
Yeah.
Or from that fire hydrant actually at an angle.
Yeah. That's the problem. That's what's bugging me. Okay, let's go to the next one. Oh, that's cool, but okay. Are you?
Here's my thing about this.
Are you thinking about insurance?
I would say in that little tagline, explore downtown on a Lime scooter. If you're going to put that in there, make sure they know that it is rentable from a local business, not that you're actually providing a Lime scooter, unless you are. And if you are, say that.
Yeah, that's probably creating it. Take that out. Nope, it's not your photo. Take that out. Also, it's a very recognizable building that's not yours, and you don't have a license for it. Next. Okay, now we're back. Is that the bedroom door? What door is that?
No, that's the front door. That's the door of that side patio, I believe.
Is this a studio?
It looks like no. It's a one-bedroom apartment.
Yeah. Okay. That's
a separate room.
Yeah, that's just a very small bedroom. Okay.
Here's the other thing that I would consider is the number of photos that you have.
What do you mean?
There's not enough of them.
This is the last photo?
This is the last photo. A, it's 14 out of 14.
Oh, and we cut like 4 of them.
Well, it's 14 out of 14, and on top of that, we're asking you to take out at least 2 photos, and we know that 2 more are not actually your photos, or they at least have nothing to do with the listing.
Yep.
So the reality is you're really only looking at 10 photos.
Yeah, you're about 14, 15 photos short, my friend.
Yes. You definitely want to aim for 20 to 30 photos. For a few reasons. One is you can show more detail with more photos. So some of the, if I want to go back to the kitchen, let's see. Okay. So a few things you could have done here is, in addition to this shot, also taken the head-on shot that Jay mentioned earlier, but open up your drawers and your cabinets and show people what they're going to get when they get there. Show them, if this is listing for 4 people or 6 people, however many it is, that they have enough plates and silverware and wine glasses and coffee cups and drinking glasses and things of that nature. Open all the drawers. Show them that you have a fire hydrant if you have one. A fire hydrant, not a fire hydrant. What am I talking about? Fire hydrant. Fire extinguisher if you have one. Yeah, he's laughing. He's trying to hold on. He's just like not making noises while he's laughing. But I know he is. Yeah, so anything I would say is get more photos by showing more detail. If you have, I haven't seen an Apple TV in here. I'm not sure if you have one or not. If that's something that you guys do. Oh, and I did not see a television inside the bedroom. Was there one in there?
If there was, it was from a different angle that we didn't get the chance to see.
Yeah. So if you have Television in the bedroom. Make sure you get a picture of it. If you don't, make sure you get one. Always have one. And it's more about providing. If you're having a listing for up to 4 people, again, we haven't looked at the details of this listing yet, but I'm gonna guess it's for 4 to 6 people, most likely 4. You want to have separate private spaces for people who have different preferences and shows, or maybe they just want privacy at night. You have one couple that's going to stay in the living room and they want a show to watch, and there's another couple staying in the bedroom and they want another show to watch. Have televisions in there, give people options. I also didn't see any chargers anywhere. Any USB chargers? Again, not sure if you have them or not, but I'm going to assume that you don't because I did not see a picture of it.
Right. That's true. I would go. Yeah, I mean, if they are there, then I'd hate to say reshoot your photos, but you might want to do that.
I'm going to step aside for a moment because this is going to be a very important lesson for you guys. One of my networks is down in one of the listings. And if there is one thing that is sacrilegious above all else to our guests, is that internet access is not attainable. They don't care if the plumbing isn't working. They can wait a couple hours for that to get serviced. If they get locked out, that's forgivable, believe it or not, although it's not recommended. But internet service is not forgettable or forgivable. So I'll be back in a moment, and I'm going to let Jay take over and go on to the next one.
The next listing?
If you're done with it, no, we have to go through
we have to go through that
content.
One. That's fine. You can cut. Yeah, there you go. That makes it easier for me. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to step over here to this computer real fast so that I can talk about what I see while we're talking about it. All right. So I like the use of the emojis, especially the color ones. Walk plus, bike score, 88 plus. Okay, I'm guessing this is fine. This is fine. Walk and bike score, 88 plus. Netflix keypad. I'm not sure keypad, why that's important or why I would want to advertise there. I think there's probably a better feature that you could put. Like you have that patio, right? That patio that you were advertising and talking about. So now you can put that patio or put patio as the keyword there. 4 guests, 1 bedroom, 2 beds. I remember that. 1 bath, self check-in. Looks good. Super host. Yep, that's good. I want you. Ha, there you go. Tell me what I can do to be your host. There it is. So that's aggressive. I like it. Let's see. Walk score 88. Blah blah blah. This looks good. I like the use of how you're breaking up the text with the hearts. That's good. We use only green and organic cleaning materials and supplies. Is that true? And my question to you, because here's my concern. In my experience, and maybe you have some different experience or you have something else different, the organic cleaners, while they may be safe and it sounds great, they don't clean. And the cleaners that clean ain't organic. I could be wrong, just saying. But I like, if that's true, then great. But understand that in my head, if I'm your potential guest, that's exactly what I'm thinking. Is that, oh, cool, he uses green organic cleaning materials? What goes through my head is, oh, great, the place is dirty. Because in my experience, that organic stuff doesn't clean like I like it to. But I like the 3 blocks. I don't know how big is a block, for example, especially if you have someone coming from another country. How big is a block? Tell me in time how long it's going to be. Also, this is not about the space as much as it is about the neighbor. Well, you've got this first stuff is not about the space. It's more about the neighborhood. So yeah, but when you're talking about the in-unit washer and dryer and central AC, okay, great. And the dedicated parking, this is cool. If this is your first booking, I like this. We talked about that. I believe it was Janan who got the Yep, I like that. Amenities. Let's look at all the amenities. Make sure that those look good. Yeah, looking pretty good. Okay. Let's see. Sleeping arrangements. It's a queen bed. That explains the bedroom shots, but I still want them shot at a better angle. And Why is your calendar so available, my friend? Let's look at your pricing. Are you using Price Labs or anything at this moment? I'm not sure. Let's keep going. Let me go into the future and see what we got. If I still see $78 a night, okay, got it. I see what you're doing. It does look like you're using some dynamic pricing, so that's perfect. And you have 166 reviews. I love this place. Would definitely go back. Are you responding to your reviews? Let's find out. And again, this what I'm about to show you is actually one of the harder parts to do. I just brought on a person on board to help do this. Yeah, you're not responding to your reviews. And again, I get it. You have a lot of reviews going in, and maybe you want Lauren to go and start responding to the reviews from the guests so that people know that you're still paying attention to the profile. But for the most part, you're knocking it out of the park, and now everybody else knows that too. So I like what you've got here, or I don't know if this was done automatically or not, but this nearby landmark section is working out pretty good for you as well. So you've got, looks like you're doing the right stuff. Let me see where's the house rules? I missed those.
You gotta expand.
Expand right here.
Oh, wait a minute.
So you've got, looks like you're doing the right stuff. Let me see where's the house rules? How did that just suddenly start going? Now we know why sound guys in Hollywood
Yeah, sound guys in Hollywood must
make
go
a lot of
crazy.
money.
We have like random speakers, just like they decide to activate themselves. I'm sure you guys heard the feedback.
We're trying.
Okay. You were looking for house rules.
Other than the house rules, yes. House rules is the last piece that we needed to go over right there.
Let's see.
Policy. There we go.
Let's read all the rules.
I like how he broke them up. He keeps using these little hearts, though.
I love the hearts, guys. Makes it feel very friendly. House rules aren't something that typically feel friendly. I said last week, it's like finger waving at your guests before they're actually even guests, right? And you're saying, here's all the things you can't do. I just showed you pictures and gave you a hint on this great experience that you're going to have. But here's all the things you can't do. And the hearts actually softened up a little bit. I like it. Good use.
Got it. So I'm seeing some comments about the sound being improved. This is good. It's because I am manually, literally switching back and forth between microphones. So doing the best that I can to make all that happen. And there are some eco-friendly cleaners that have superior cleaning power I'm using. Okay, Marie, I'm not saying that he has a note at the top that talks about how he uses eco-friendly cleaning. And I was like, well, most eco-friendly cleaners I know don't clean. And the ones that aren't eco-friendly clean well. And if they're out there, they're out there. I'm just saying make sure it's true.
Here's what I would say about it. There's two things I would say about it. First is, as a marketing guy, I think it's a great marketing ploy because there are people out there that are looking for that. Secondly, the people who are looking for it probably use the same cleaners and know how well those cleaners work. So they're probably comfortable with them. And second, the people who don't use organic cleaners don't use organic cleaners, so they don't know. So my opinion's on the opposite end of the spectrum.
Of course it is. Of course. All right. If we're gonna get through this, we need to boogie and let's get to some of the questions because this. Yeah. Yep. Let's just go. Let's get to the next. Let's at least get one more and then we'll get some questions.
All right. So we're gonna do the last one that we missed last week, which I believe was AK Lofts.
No, we did that one.
We did that one. Bye-bye.
Close to NYC.
Fast Wi-Fi, king bed, free parking, awesome photo quality.
Woo!
So far.
Crushing it. I got
Love
goosebumps.
it. And
Dang, Gina.
yeah.
You can't say nothing about this. I mean, just look at the
I
photos.
think it's Saeed and Suan.
Woo!
The first thing I actually would say, even though the photos are awesome as they are, I would say great title. I love it. That jumps out at me for a couple of reasons. One is most people who use Airbnb often know that Airbnb is outlawed in Manhattan. I believe it is. And so the fact that you're advertising close to New York City
It's great because people want to go to New York. They still want to stay in Airbnb, and they know right off the bat this one is close to it. Excellent choice of furniture. You guys are either designers or use a designer. It looks professional. It looks clean. The colors work together. It's not jumbled. I'm going to blow up the first picture here.
Yeah, go ahead. They crushed this.
Yeah, this is a great angle. It looks like, and I'll let Jay speak on this one, but it looks like the camera was at the right height and the right depth. Yeah, there's a good light balance to it.
I mean, I'm even in love with this floating credenza right now.
Yeah.
Do you understand what's going on?
Yeah.
I'm having a complete love affair with this place.
Yeah. And I love the flowers. I don't know if those are fresh flowers or fake, but they look really nice. The only thing that I would say negative about this is that coaxial cable sticking out from the wall is killing me right now. Everything else looks amazing, and then there's that one thing that's sticking out, and I'm like, oh, really? What is that? But again, that's nitpicking. I love the colors. One thing I want to point out, guys, is use of area rugs. They're good. A, use area rugs. It breaks up the room. B, if there is any dirt, it hides it. I mean, when I mean dirt, I mean like loose flowing dirt that's on the floor, right? So you don't want your new guests coming in, taking their shoes off, and then stepping all over a little bit of sand or a little bit of dirt and mist. What I would point out is the types of rugs that you use are really important, because there's some really nice high shag or high texture rugs that look great. They feel great, but I will tell you right now, they're going to get destroyed, and they're not easy to vacuum. So this is an example of a good rug to use. I also think that it's appropriately sized for the area, not too big, not too small. The table can fit right in the middle of it, and there's a nice balance in between the table and the couch and the chair in the background.
Jay ain't got nothing else to say.
I would say though about the artwork too. Great because it gives a sense of depth to the room. And again, it's just like the mirror did in Lauren's listing in bedrooms. It makes the room look larger than it is.
Wow.
Yeah,
isn't that nice?
I want to stay there.
Wow.
It looks comforting.
Next.
Next.
It's good, dude.
I'm Mr.
Analyzer.
I mean, even
the photo. Yes, the photo is good. Other than one of the light bulbs is out.
Boom.
Saw it. I would say this too. I love the desk. I love that you can see it. I love the chair. But get a mat for underneath that chair. You know, one of those rubber mats that are cushioned, or something that makes it easy for the chair to still roll on, but not so much that, like, when you're sitting down at the desk, it's difficult to keep the chair from moving, because that's essentially what's going to happen from a functional standpoint. When someone sits down on one of those things, it's going to feel like it's constantly moving underneath their seat.
So, and with that being said, there is one thing I'm looking at from a functional perspective. You have what looks to be an oversized ottoman and a coffee table. I'm wondering if you have a sleeper sofa, and if so, it's going to be, seems from a functional standpoint that either something I like my coffee or that coffee table to be easily moved, and this one does not look like it can be so, and nor does it look like I can use the ottoman plus that, what is that, a love seat plus this leather, I'm assuming it's a sleeper, at the same time. You might have just a functional issue there, but love it.
Yeah. Well, let's assume for a moment that it is a sleeper. Okay. Now they have to move that giant ottoman every time. Yeah. That's one thing I try to always avoid, is my guests having to move more than necessary, and what they do have to move is as light as possible. And that looks kind of bulky. It also looks like, from walking space, like walking around that table to the couch, if you're coming from that angle, might be a little tight. And getting on the love seat itself, it might be a little tight, because you have to actually move the ottoman to get on it, unless you climb over everything. In which case, if someone has shoes on, they're now putting their dirty shoes on your lovely ottoman.
And it is lovely.
It is very lovely. It looks comfortable. I want to sit on it.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Next picture?
Yeah. Don't need that photo.
Don't need the photo.
Although I see the Vivint system, so that's good.
It looks good for my Facebook page to show my friends. I think there's artistic value to this photo, but it doesn't show much. And you already have a few and another.
Hold on, is that a new photo?
It's
a new photo, and now
it's the same story though.
It's the same story.
Yeah, you don't need this one.
Photos of the same story. I would get rid of that third one that we pointed out a second ago. Okay, first bedroom one. Couple things I noticed that jump out at me right off the bat.
I'm wondering if this is the same place.
Really? Why?
Because when you go back in the other ones, the wall, the size of the photos that were used and what was on the walls, it just looked bigger. It just looks like this one. There's a lot of white, so you got to fill it up with something.
So there's a lot of white. You got to fill it up with something. And I mean, it's very clean.
I
don't hate it.
But here's some of the things that are jumping out at me. The box springs are in full view. Get rid of that. Put a bed skirt on it. Even if the skirt isn't hanging over the side because you want to show the side rails and the foot rails, put a skirt on it and then tuck the skirt underneath or in between the box springs and the side rails and foot rails. I love that painting above the bed, but it doesn't fit that space. It's too small for the space.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. All of the things on the wall are too small.
Yes.
And especially compared to how well you used the wall in the previous
And they're
space.
Off-centered.
They're not
Nightstand.
Yeah.
If you're gonna have artwork over a nightstand, make sure the two are centered with one another. In this case, I would say that the artwork itself is off because you don't want that nightstand further away from the bed than it already is. In this one, I would consider I don't have this in a lot of my spaces, but in this scenario, I would consider a rug, an area rug that goes halfway or even 3/4 of the way underneath the bed and then extends out, out from the sides a foot or so and out from the foot rail a foot or so as well. That will give some more body.
Let's go to the next one.
It'll give more body to the image itself, and what Jay was saying about there being almost too much white. If you had a rug there, it would be a different scenario. I would also something that I see off the bat is a piece of trash on the ground. So attention to detail when you guys are taking photos. Typically, I will actually I've worked with my photographer enough now that I allow her just to go to my units. I'm not even there anymore. But the first few that I was there, I walked through the unit. I coached her on what we were looking for, and I made sure that if there was something out of place, that I got rid of it or highlighted it to her. And now she does it on her own. So she'll, if hopefully the goal is that she shows up and it is absolutely pristine and perfect. But I know that when there isn't, she is adjusting things to make it so.
Oh, okay, you know what? If this is the same bedroom, get rid of the other shot.
Yeah, this was the other shot.
Don't do that. Lose that shot. This is way better.
Way better.
Way better. Don't ever tell that other shot again. Ever. Delete it right now. Right now, at the moment, we are live and online, and I see 19 photos. Before we're done, I better see that number be 18. That's how serious I am about that other shot. It needs to go away.
Get rid of it. Okay.
It's almost everything we said is now okay. Except the photos are still...
the
pictures are still too small.
I like the idea. Yeah, the pictures are still too small, and they're still off-centered from the nightstands. I like the idea of a remote control holder and it being near the bed. I don't like that placement, though. I might attach it to the side of the nightstand. Or how about this? Just put the remote controls on the nightstand.
Yeah, I don't want to put it on the wall.
Yeah.
But I don't think it works.
Yeah.
But outside of that, get rid of that other photo. Now.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Again, artistic photo for
artistic,
the sake of being an artistic photo.
If it was a magazine shot, great. But that's not what this is. Keep going. You don't need any more.
We got a television.
Well, we had a television in the prior shot.
Yeah, but I'm saying in comparison to some of the listings we've seen.
Oh, well, that's true.
We got television. Good job, guys. Oh, not only do we have a television, we don't see cords. I am like it's a huge pet peeve for me. And audio just picked up. All right. Totally random. Yes. But guys, it does not cost a lot of money, and it's not even difficult if you want to do it yourself to fish the cables through the wall, especially if it's regular drywall as opposed to being a really old house that has, what is it called, lathe?
I'm sorry.
The type of wall. This is drywall, and then you also have lathe that has what is it called? I keep wanting to say stucco. It's not stucco. Anyways, really old houses have more difficult walls. But if you have drywall, please consider fishing the cables through the wall. There's tons of videos on YouTube you can look up to figure out how to do it. There's super cheap kits that are sold at Home Depot. You basically need to cut a small hole in the wall behind the television and by the plug and drop the cables through.
Plaster, and she's saying got it, and it's in New Jersey. So
We
have a open invitation to come to New Jersey.
This
shot
New Jersey.
is useless. Delete it.
Why is it? Why do you think it's useless?
What does it say to you?
It tells me that I'm coming into a calm, relaxing place.
No, it does nothing. Literally does nothing.
It's because I'm emotionally in tune with my feelings. And I know that I'm going to have a great time here.
It does nothing.
Okay, bedroom
Second
number
bedroom.
2.
You have the same off-center issue. Get rid of the remotes on the wall.
And the
e-
pictures are too
even
small.
though you've got different color temperatures on your because you're using so much white, you got to get the color temperatures right on your light bulbs. You did not change the light bulbs in the lamps to daylight
yellow.
balance. Yeah, they're just daylight balanced. They're technically what they usually call soft white, but they're just not daylight balanced. So
Here's the other thing, too. I'm going to make an assumption, guys, that you... Wait a minute. This says 40-inch 4K Roku device. With Roku device connected. It is a 4K TV. Why does it look old to me? Look how thick it is in this picture over here.
it does look big.
Okay. I was going to make a dumb comment about not saving money on reusing TVs. But if you're saying that's what it is, then awesome. It just looks weird to me. It looks really like big and heavy, like my old 80-inch or
It
80,
does.
80-pound
It's a plasma TV.
Yeah, got it. But no, there's a Roku. Well, there's a Roku. It could be a Roku device.
It's definitely
Whatever.
It's fine.
Good job, guys. All I know is that there is a television in a second bedroom. We've seen 3 TVs now and no cords, and I'm loving it. Good
Well,
job, guys.
I have a question though.
Yeah.
Why if this is a Roku TV, what's the second remote for?
No, it's a Roku device connected. So they actually have a Roku device connected to the television. It's probably on the wall behind the TV. And if it's a Roku Premier
Okay,
Plus,
then that
they don't
means-
have to have direct. What's it called?
Oh.
They don't have to be pointing it directly at the device. The remote.
Yeah, but now they got 2 remotes and a confusing remote for the television. That's why it looks weird, because it's not the TV that you're used to seeing.
It's not the TV prescribed
No.
by the Mastermind or course or Blueprint courses for that matter.
So that's what they tried to do, is save some money, because look at that big. I bet you that big remote's confusing.
Guys, I have seen the 42-inch Roku television at Best Buy and Costco and Target and other places as low as $269, I believe. $269. So, why are we harping on that? Guest experience. Everything is for the guest review, and we want to provide a great guest experience. Make it as easy on them as possible. And from practical feedback, as you will get questions about why can't I get the TV to work.
Yeah, and James is mentioning that the TV looks high on the wall, and he's right. It's probably a smaller bedroom, not shot at a wide enough angle, James. That's part of what's going on here. Again, magazine worthy, but not what I need.
It is a Vizio, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, see, I'm like I told you, I knew it wasn't.
Okay.
And we already talked about these
all right.
vertical shots.
Again, same thing with the bathroom photo, guys. A professional photographer can still take a landscape photo of a bathroom even when it is tiny. And I'm sure that's why you guys took a vertical photo like this. But I see accent amenities on the countertop Love that.
What? Toiletry kit?
I would definitely
Love it.
get a towel bar in here and get rid of the towels on top of the toilet that just screams unsanitary. Whether it is or not is irrelevant. It screams unsanitary. Get a towel bar. And there's something looks like rusted metal on the ground. I don't know what that is.
What's that coming from the toilet on the floor?
I think it's just a pattern in the
Yeah, but that doesn't.
or marble.
The problem is that that's the only
Looks
place
like
that.
streaks.
Yeah, that does not
There's
look.
somewhere where my cursor is right there. Where the cursor is.
Yeah, I see that too, but I'm looking at what's running from the toilet. What's running from the toilet does not.
It looks like stuff is running from the toilet.
That's not good.
That's gross. Nobody likes the runs. I would consider a piece of artwork above the toilet as well.
No, you can't go in the garage right now, son. We're almost done. Justice, what did I say?
We have a little one in the garage with us right now. He's about to get reprimanded. And there it goes. Daddy is reprimanding him. So we'll move on. Okay. Yes. I like it. Some of the things I know Jay's going to point out right away again is the light bulbs, yellow bulbs. But I like it. I'm going to move on, guys. We're going to move faster because it's already 5:08 and this is typically a shorter show. But what I do like about the photo is that you have some of the items on the countertop. Your toaster, your blender, your Keurig, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, this is a big eating area.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Big kitchen seating area. That's classic East Coast. Love it.
Seating for 6. Is that a fan in the wall?
It's exhaust. Yeah,
Exhaust?
It's
Okay.
An old house. Very old house. You don't see those anymore.
No. All
But
right.
it's been updated.
Okay. Do we need?
Yeah. No, I don't think so.
It's
I don't see
fine.
anything wrong
It's
with it.
fine. It's fine. Don't need that.
Oh. Let me go back here. Whether you need this shot or not, again, disputable matter. We won't speak about things that aren't clearly written in the short-term rental mastermind Bible. Okay? But what I would say is get rid of the candles. Do not give your guests access to light anything on fire that is not on the stove.
Right.
So I would definitely say get rid of the candles, and you can still use these ornaments without the candles, and they look beautiful and they're nice fun. If anything, if you really, really want to, get the battery-operated LED candles. Workstation. Okay.
What do you want?
And speed test. All right, cool.
Wow.
That's what we got. Hopefully we provided some feedback to you guys that is useful. Even if this is not your listing, I'm sure there's things that we said that you could relate to and say, oh, wow, actually my listing is just like that and I need to go update it. Or I saw some really nice things in here. I want to add it to my listing. Guys, we're a big community. We're here to support each other, make each other successful. There is no shame in seeing things that you like in other folks' listings and adding it as well. Let us jump into the content of the listing itself and run through this, and that'll probably take us for the day.
Well, let's get. We should make an attempt to answer some of the questions that come in.
I'm sorry, the actual question.
Yeah.
Jay, why don't you hop in on this?
All right. So close to NY, fast Wi-Fi. We like that. 6 guests makes sense. Yeah. Check the pricing while I look at this. Yep. Super host walk score 75. I'm not sure that that's benefiting you because it's that low. It's above 70, which is great. But tell me what that means. And so you can get rid of walk score 75 and start with 3 to 5 minute train, less than 25 minutes from Newark Airport. If you think that's the airport that matters, then that's good. Easy access to MetLife Stadium, Prudential Center, Wellmont, blah, blah, blah. Perfect. Okay. So because we're talking, I'm going to give you a ninja trick right here. Here's something I would love to see you guys do. I'm gonna pull it up on my phone. So I'm gonna pull it up on my phone. And so what happens when you go to say Uber, right? If you pull up Uber, and yes, I like my ride with Jim. That's awesome. So if I pull up Uber and I do something like this, see how it tells me? Ooh, I get 10% off right now. Anyway. See how it tells me how it tells me literally right here how much and how long it might be. Because you're talking about so many different places, one of the things I know that I can do on my phone is really quickly I can get a screenshot, boom, like so. And now that I have this screenshot, I can put a bunch of these screenshots together to give the person an idea of not only how far, how long, but how much it would cost. Because if we're talking about a place that is, we'll say, transportation deficient or challenged, then you probably want to do that in this particular case as well, because that would add to the guest's understanding of how they're going to be able to get around.
Yep. Since we're on the screen, one thing I will point out is that,
and I think I did most of that without my microphone. It's all good.
Hopefully you guys heard him from my mic. One of the things that I want to point out that Saeed and Sue-Ann are doing right is that they've added extra guest fees. However, it appears, I don't know if you guys saw that I was toggling back and forth between 5 guests, 4 guests, and 2 guests. It looks like they're only adding extra guest fees after 4 guests. And it goes from $135 to $160.
Hold on, this is a 1 bedroom or 2 bed? No, it's a 2 bedroom. I get where you're coming from, adding after 4, but why not add after 2?
And make it less.
And yeah, what he said.
Instead of $25 for an extra guest fee, maybe it's $20 or $15. I started at $15. My market will bear $20. I haven't gotten any complaints whatsoever when I added it to $20. Made it $20. But that said, maybe it's after 2 guests and it's $15. And now when you have your 5 guests, instead of getting an extra $25, you're getting an extra $45. And at the same time, if you have 3 and 4 guests, you're still making extra money that you're not making in this scenario here.
100%. Just trying to make you more money. Let's keep going. What do we see?
You went through all the stars, right?
I did most of them, but again, all right. So here's what I like about what you've done with the stars. At the top, it kind of breaks up, but also let's use some more spacing. Here's the thing that's bothering me after the summary section is that it all looks like one jumbled paragraph because it's not broken up. So go back and maybe add some of the hearts or stars or arrows or something to make this easier to read. I actually want to start skipping it. That's how I feel.
Yeah. Big blocks of text, brain wants to, your eyes see it and your brain literally just washes out. Doesn't want to read it. Yeah. And that's for the average person. But I do like some of the content that's in here. You point out there's a king size bed, fully equipped kitchen. Again, fully equipped kitchen. Guys, I saw some of the photos of the kitchen itself. I did not see drawers and doors open actually showing me what all that equipment is. So if you say fully equipped kitchen, don't just show the toaster and the blender and the Keurig.
Right.
Fill up some of those photos with some of the extra stuff. And guys, by the way, photos are taken into account by the Airbnb ranking algorithm, in addition to tons of other things. But the more photos that you have, more relevant photos that you have, and the more photos that you have that are tagged appropriately, the better that the algorithm is going to see your listing. Okay, I like checking information sent 24 hours before arrival. I like that because it gets rid of ambiguity and eliminates questions.
Now we just got to get them to read it.
Read it.
Exactly. Just got to get them to read it. Okay, why are children under 12 not counted as additional guests? That's really high age.
Yeah, they're using resources that you're paying for. They're using your towels, excuse me, your towels, your sheets, your blankets, your electricity, your gas or oil, your water. Probably as much, if not more, than the adults, because children, especially around that age, tend to waste things. They take 20-minute showers or 30-minute showers if you're my kid. And you're getting yelled at.
Ain't nothing wrong with a long shower, man.
So I personally charge for over 2 years old, unless I'm being really nice, and I decide to discount the extra guest fee, which is probably why the price did not go up earlier, because when I did my extra guests, I made 2 of them children. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. I would make the age much lower. Personally.
31 amenities. It's a good number. Which means there's lots of detail. Air conditioning, heating, excellent essentials. Let's see. Kitchen, space where guests can cook their own meals. Love it. Cooking basics. I mentioned this. I called this out last week, guys. Airbnb recently updated this maybe 3 months ago. Cooking basics is not just pots and pans now. It also includes oil, salt, and pepper. So if you're going to select that, make sure that amenity, make sure that you guys have it. Excellent. All right.
So there's no washer or dryer on site or anywhere? There's no laundry? Okay.
No laundry. And not a private entrance. Huh.
Well, that's
I
weird.
did notice that this looked like it was on the second
Yeah.
floor. I'm guessing it's a duplex. And maybe the entrance is you open a door and then you have to go climb stairs. That's what I'm guessing.
That would make sense. But if, yeah.
Well, I would call that out.
I still,
if that's the case,
still a private entrance.
call it out in your description again, so there's no ambiguity. Because what people will ask is, oh, this looks like a private space, but it doesn't say private entrance. How do we actually get in? Love it. 23 reviews, 5-star ratings. Wonderful. Good stuff, guys.
Let's get over and answer some of the questions that have come in and see what we can do really quickly.
Okay, I know that Janan had a question early on.
Okay, what was it?
Let's see. I'm not seeing all the comments here. I know there was more than this, so a lot more up top.
Okay. Hold on. Oh, there it is. She says, are you providing blankets? Yes. And as for the appropriate number of people that it sleeps, how often do you clean the blankets? Well, getting the blankets clean isn't actually the problem. It's getting them back in the unit that's been the problem.
So aggravating.
So yes, we're doing a decent. It's literally your screen. I can see the questions without seeing your screen. We'll do this one. There we go. So yeah, we clean the blankets, and what happens is that they get stuck back in your garage center. That's been my challenge personally when it comes to cleaning them. So please make sure you do that. Since you said you're putting out the max amount of towels and linens after checkout, do you always wash everything? Yes, because I don't know what they did with them, or only the stuff that looks used.
I don't want to know what they did with them.
What he said.
What is that thing that's sticking on it? Don't want to know. Why is it wet and slimy? Don't want to know. Just get it clean. And build that into your cost structure.
Okay, that was gross. Moving on. How many sets of sheets, duvet covers, towels do you have in each unit? I'll let Rob take that one.
One per person. So if you have up to 6 people, stock 6 body towels, 6 hand towels, 6 facial towels. Sheets enough for the beds to be made once.
Got it. And I'm going to run through these next questions. Is my pricing too high if I'm getting lots of last minute bookings but none ahead of time? Yes. Do you have to charge city taxes separately like how Elke's listed hers in her Airbnb listing reviewed the other day? That was because of Texas. If you're talking about Costa Mesa, the answer is no. Is there a reason your profile picture on Airbnb is not you? We covered that earlier.
Watch the recording and watch the very first thing that we covered when we went into the live reviews.
How do you feel about outdated units? Outdated units in a great location.
That's me.
What do you mean?
I have those. I hate the way, like, my personal preference, like if I were getting a home for my family, I would not pick my apartments. Okay? They're in Orange County, yes. Destination place to be. But I could go like down the street to Irvine and get a brand new REIT-owned building, brand new apartment, all the amenities that I want. And the one thing that I learned when I first started this that Jay just ingrained in my head was 2 things. One is you're not your guest, right? So most people have a lower standard than I probably have, or they just think about things differently, and maybe they're coming from a place that's not so nice and clean as Orange County, for instance, or where I'm operating. But I had all kinds of judgments when I started about the community that we've put our first apartments in, and at the end of the day, what I realized is that people don't care. They either don't care, or they don't care enough to not book. Because we stay booked, and we have a nice guest, great review, we got great
Let's see.
Oh, one more thing to add to that too is your walk score makes a huge difference. So if it's a really crappy building with a poor walk score and a poor area,
Yeah.
then it doesn't, it's obviously not going to do as well as a great walk score. Maybe the community doesn't look as nice as a brand new REIT-owned complex a couple miles down the road, but it's an amazing walk score. So if someone can like walk outside the front door and in half a block, there are a number of restaurants, bars, cafes, shops, and it doesn't really matter much because they're not spending a ton of time in the apartment anyways.
Okay. Let me see. Last week you said $500,000 is not enough for a 50-50 split. In your opinion, what dollar amount is worth a 50-50 split? There is no dollar amount. Next, Rob, your voice has an echo. Yes, we know.
Hopefully that was a long time ago.
Yeah, I did scroll pretty far back. Joven, having trouble contacting Tokeet customer support. What's the best way to contact outside of the chat option? I will let Rob handle that because he's better at it than I am.
I'm sorry, which one was it?
That Joven? Yep. No, I skipped John. I went to Joven.
Oh, I don't see it. Where is it?
Keep scrolling. Keep right there.
Got it. Having trouble contacting. Yeah. Okay, so you tackle this one here, guys. So I'm here for you. I love you. And I know how frustrating customer service can be. And sometimes you just want to, they're in front of you, like in your head, you're like, I'm going to punch them in the face. And that's really intense. You wouldn't really do that, but that's how you feel, right? Okay. So I worked in technology for a really long time, so I kind of know like what these people go through and where their minds are at and how much they care. They really, really care. Regardless of how unhelpful their answers actually are, I know that they care. They're real human beings on the other end of your computer, on the other side of the screen, and they're doing the best they can to help you. But that's that's how I'll start. There's a couple layers to this. So the first is trouble contacting them. Like, in other words, how do I actually get an answer? So you want to make sure that when you ask questions to support individuals or engineering individuals, that you are that you state your problem and you logically lay out what you experienced. So it's not just my calendar doesn't seem to be syncing, but it is my calendar doesn't seem to be syncing. Here's the things I did to test it out. Here's some screenshots of my calendar not syncing in Tokeet. Here's a screenshot from Airbnb and how it looks different. I've tried X, Y, and Z. Do you have a suggestion of what else I can do? And or can you please look into this for me? This gives them as much information as they need without needing to go back and forth. Now, let's say their little bot, their customer support bot says they usually answer in a few minutes. They'll be right with you. And you're sitting there and you're staring at it and you're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting and it still hasn't happened. Don't wait. Don't wait. Because they're going to get back to you regardless, especially if you've given them all the information they need. Then they can give you a more detailed answer. And whatever answer they give you is not only going to be in that chat box next time you come back, but it's also going to get forwarded to your email. And so you'll see that they actually responded. And you can, if you see it in your email, you can hop back in and ask them an additional question if you need it. Let's say they didn't reply at all. Hopefully it's a friendly and not too annoying way of getting their attention. I'll just ask. I'll enter another chat and say, hey, any feedback on this information or any feedback on this question, or have you had a chance to look at this? That just tells somebody, because here's the thing, they probably have about 50 questions that they're trying to get through. They saw yours come through, but they haven't had a chance to get to it yet. Maybe they went to lunch and they forgot about it. And so you're just kind of dropping little hints and reminders. And then if it's been like more than 3/4 of a day and I still haven't heard anything, I will literally put 1,000 question marks in the chat box. Maybe not 1,000, maybe like 20. But I'll put a ton of question marks like, hello. That's really what it's saying is, where are you at? I need some help here. And when all else fails, get the CEO's email address and blow it up because it'll answer. I said if all else failed. I didn't say that's the first resort. You can also try if they have customer groups in Facebook. You can try there as well. And I really wish it would be easier, guys, but it's not always. I would say that most of these technology companies, especially Toki, have taken a lot of time to build their knowledge base out. There's FAQs. Here's how you set up listings properly. So please make use of that. Don't, as a first resort, say, I don't know how to do this, I'm going to ask chat support. Because more than likely, the question's been asked before and they have an article that covers it. So try to do the groundwork of hopping in there. If there's some type of technical glitch and you really need help from them, ask chat, ask them a couple of times, try to be patient. Then all else fails, start reaching out to the CEO. That's how I got my last problem fixed, honestly, and that was a couple weeks ago. That's all I got on that one.
Yep, makes perfect sense. We'll make this the last really quickly, though. I saw that James and Haya seem to have managed to get a Airbnb Plus verified unit. Congratulations, good job out there in the DC area. Let us know how that goes, i.e., was it really worth the aggravation that they put you through? Has your daily rates gone up? Has your occupancy?
Oh.
Yeah, we haven't done it. We keep saying no, so I would love to hear your thoughts on the program.
You know what? They're actually trying to pay me now. So they came out and they did like the first 3 steps, 4 steps, 5 steps, whatever it is. And they wanted me to fix a few things and then have them come back out again. And the fix a few things was like, it was really annoying. Like there was a scuff mark on the wall. They wanted me to paint over it. And they said I didn't have a blow dryer when I had a blow dryer. And they said, where's your where's your instruction manual? And I'm like, it's digital. Here it is. And the guy was like, oh yeah, that's cool. And then they told me to fix all that stuff. So I just got really annoyed. And they kept reminding me. And now they're reminding me with money. They're like, hey, how about $80? How about $100? Will you finish it pretty please?
I still won't do it. So yeah. And we'll end this session with what's his name? John's question. What, you had one? Oh no.
Not a question, just something helpful that Ladero put. For any of you guys that are looking to figure out how to hide wires, Ladero commented in this thread here in the mastermind group. So check it out. There's a link there for a system from Lowe's, it looks like.
Excellent. So John was asking, I currently have our cleaning crew being notified of our new booking via SmartBnB. We also give them access to our calendar. What I am having trouble with is feedback from the cleaning crew about when they are coming and when the job is complete. Is there a way to systemize that? Yes, and the simple answer is Slack is what we use to make sure that communication flows back and forth. So let me be very clear when I say this. Let me look you in the eye. So John, here's what we're doing. There's a lead cleaning person that is in the Slack, and this could be a number of people. In our case, for the company, they have 3 people that they do this scheduling dispatch through. So those 3 individuals are in the Slack channel. And what we do is we communicate to those 3 individuals and those 3 individuals only. And anytime there's an issue, one of those 3 individuals communicates to us, and then one of our individuals picks that up and quarterbacks it to the correct person, whether that be a maintenance crew, whether it be on-site maintenance, whether that be a plumber, whether that be, oh my God, I got to order Amazon Prime now. Whatever it is, that's how it is handled. Did you want to say something, Rob?
Yeah, I'd add to that, in addition to that, more specific to the question about timing and things like that, if you guys are using a system like Vivint, check your lock logs, check your camera feeds, see when they came and went. If you requested, for instance, that a cleaning happened right at 11 a.m. So, for instance, my checkout time is 11 a.m. Today, I wanted to support an early check-in for another guest, and so I asked them to be there right at 11 a.m. so we could support the early check-in, and so it happened. But what I did is at about 11:15, I checked my Vivint camera feed to make sure the person had showed up, and if they didn't, then I would have used Slack to then reach out to my contact at the cleaning company to ask them where they were, why they weren't there, when they're going to be there.
Absolutely. So that's going to do it for today, guys. Sorry we went long. Hopefully no one's complaining. They went too long and gave us too much value. Anyway, I don't think anybody's going to say that. Yes, we know about the audio. Yes, we're going to be headed over to the audio store to finally fix that because I know what the solution is. We just got to go get it now. Hey, more money. So if you want to donate somehow to this whole endeavor, anyway, you get what I'm saying. My point is, hopefully the information that we shared with you today is helping you, has helped you. For those of you who are not in one of our Facebook groups, feel free to join us at cashflowdiary.com/mastery. Come on and join the fun, because at the end of the day, you can't make no money just watching and listening to us all day long. You got to come join us so that you can understand the fun that we are having.
Yep.
Nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, it has been fun talking to you today. We definitely look forward to talking to you guys soon. Until next time.
Yeah.